Gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Samplin' Samples. Happy that you're tuning in this week. And this series, if you haven't checked it out yet on my channel, it's a newish series. This is actually my second episode on Samplin' Samples. This is where I just go through my boatload of samples, mostly niche guys, from various outlets, Lucky Scent in New York, Perfume Court, and go through basically fragrances that actually I don't own or fragrances that aren't really being tackled on YouTube. And these are, of course, niche brands. So you're going to hear about brands that you've never heard of on YouTube and brands that you have heard of, but they have like a huge catalog of fragrances. Today, of course, this is a prime example of this, Montal. I believe they have probably 100 scents available to the public, probably close to that. It's very hard for our YouTube community to really tackle this whole catalog. Usually we're tackling all the best scents from the brand, and this is where Samplin' Samples is going to come in. We're going to be looking at the great scents of Montal, maybe some underrated stuff that nobody's talked about, maybe some snoozers, guys. Just because it's niche, just because it's $100 to $400 a bottle, does not mean it's going to be great. So Samplin' Samples is going to show you the ugly side of the niche side. So let's get to it. Today's topic is Dark Purple. Now, Dark Purple, it was a fragrance that I kind of discovered just recently, actually. It was new on the Lucky Scent page. If you go on Lucky Scent, on the right side of the page, there's usually like new releases. I was like, Dark Purple, never heard of it. Lo and behold, this is actually not a new release. It was just new to Lucky Scent. So I got a sample of it. Now, the Montal line, of course, is so huge. Many are actually redundant. And this series will be very beneficial to many. Especially with the Montal brand. So I can tackle many of these Montal fragrances. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they redundant? This can be found under the name Dark Purple and Black Purple. There's two names for this fragrance, but under Lucky Scent it's called Dark Purple. Now, pricing for these Montals, I think their pricing's actually decent for what you're getting. A 50 mils $110 and 100 mils $160. If you just want a sample of this and actually see what I'm talking about, $4 will get you a sample of this stuff on Lucky Scent. So let's get to it. My impressions of Dark Purple. Now, with the little sample, I don't have it in my hand. I just find it redundant showing a sample. I actually wore it a few times. I usually get one or two wearings out of these little Lucky Scent samples, and it really just helps you gauge what the fragrance is going to be. You really can't dissect too much of the fragrance. You can, but I really like wearing a fragrance like 6-7 times before I really get a bottle, unless it really impressed me the first few times. So my impressions of Dark Purple, first thing you get with Dark Purple is plums. And that was really interesting. I was like, there's a lot of plums in here. And this is actually the very first scent. I know Andy Warhol from Bond No. 9 has plums, and a lot of people are saying this was an absolutely gorgeous juice. I haven't tested that one out. So this one had tons of plums, and it's true to its name. When I think plums, I think the color purple. So Dark Purple is perfect name for it, and plums is the perfect note to really give me that imagery. And this is it, guys. The plum note is matched with another fruity note. I kind of felt like it was blackberry. I believe in the note breakdown it says red berries, but I'm going with blackberry with this one. And of course, there's the signature rose note of most Montals. So you're gonna see that the rose note in Montals is really kind of artificial. It really does not feel like a real rose note. Very artificial. Now, the plum is a can't miss note in this fragrance. There's a lot of people that actually miss the plum in this fragrance. I don't know how, but I can't miss it. It's front and center. It makes you smile. I absolutely loved it. Not only that, but the plum actually lasts hours and hours upon hours in this fragrance. It really, really stays. And that's, of course, the Montal brand, guys. It will stay. Now, it lasts deep into the dry down, I would say. After, like several hours, the plum is still there, but it's really just a faint plum smell. Really, you're going to get that huge Montal dry down. Now, you must like the Montal typical rose DNA. If you don't like that, you've tested out a few Montals, you're just like, this brand's not for me. This plum note's not really going to camouflage that Montal typical dry down in this fragrance. So just to let you guys know, you gotta like that. Now, the plum note in Montal's Dark Purple, I gotta keep hitting this plum note because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's very juicy, it's very overpowering, just like Montal does. It's almost gourmandish. Now, plum is kind of like in the same family as, I put it as into like a mint or a fig, that type of family. And I really, those type of fragrances really don't scream gourmandish to me, but a lot of people do say it's a gourmandish fragrance. There's tons of plum in it. So if you think plum's gourmandish, then yeah. If you own quite a few Montals, the dry down is less to be desired. Again, a lot of these Montals, the dry down is going to be your same typical Montal dry down. There's going to be a little things tweaked here and there, but again, if you own several of the brand like I do, this dry down is like, oh, it's just like this, it's just like that. So there's rose, there's a little bit of woods, there's some geraniums in here, green geraniums, lots of musk, there's some ambrox in here too, a little bit of amber. But the plum is great, and that's basically stealing the whole show. This one is classified as a woman's scent. I can see it being unisex, guys. I really don't like putting scents into woman category, men's category. I really think all scents can be worn by anybody, unless you're going hugely floral, then maybe I have a problem wearing this. This fragrance, I can't really see it just being a woman's scent. I really think a man can wear it, especially if you do like that Montal dry down. That's probably the only way that rose that would really get somebody saying, this isn't for me. This is too on the feminine side. So if you like that Montal signature rose, you'll probably have no problem wearing this. This one has that typical Montal, which has something kind of artificial to it. And of course beasting on all cylinders, guys. This is of course beast mode all the way, just like Montals do. Staying power, let's go to that. Staying power with dark purple, 10 plus hours. I actually wore it last night and I woke up this morning smelling like this. 10 plus with this one, great projection. This is what you want from a Montal fragrance. This is why you buy Montal fragrances. They're going to last, or you're going to get your money's worth. The good things about this fragrance that I've noticed with my sample is, of course, the plum note is great in this fragrance. I really like it, and it's kind of really piquing my interest to get into more plum type fragrances. And of course, the beast mode projection and longevity. Those are the good. Now the bad, the Montal dry down, the signature Montal dry down can get old quick. This can remind you of other Montal fragrances if you ignore that big plum note. There's a few other things that are in here, like that ambrox, that is a little different from other Montals, but really that rose note kind of is a signature player in this, and it's a Montal signature, so it can get old quick. So my final take on this fragrance, is it bottle worthy? Do I want to get another sample, check it out again before I purchase, or is it just a total pass that you guys shouldn't really be checking this fragrance out? My overall feeling on this when I ended my sample was like, do I want this? Like, the plum note really interested me. It came out to be just basically, I want to get another sample of this fragrance before I jump into the water, basically. The plum almost made me pull the trigger, to be honest with you guys, but I want to check out more plum-based fragrances before I actually make my decision. The thing that really sold me about this is, of course, that Montal beast mode type of longevity and projection. Plum notes like good for at least several hours in this fragrance. It kind of just trails with the dry down. Really nice. I really wanted the plum note to be a little more. I think if they could boost it a little bit more, it would have been like a total sell for me. But either way, I'll need more time with this one. I'll probably get another sample and see if it's full bottle worthy for me and add it to my already large Montal collection. So that redundant dry down is kind of taking me away from this fragrance. So guys, another sampling samples. Hopefully you enjoyed it on a Montal that really doesn't get discussed here on YouTube. Dark purple, check it out. Thanks for watching.